On Veterans Day, we put together a special report as we followed the family of Medal of Honor recipient RODNEY Maxwell Davis as they visited the exact spot RODNEY Davis was killed in action. During what's known as Operation Swift during the Vietnam War, Davis sacrificed his life and saved 5 fellow Marines. This story is incredible, and every American should know this story. One of those Marines who was there fighting alongside Sergeant Davis when this happened was John Brackeen, Davis's platoon commander. For this story, I talked to Brackeen's grandson, Steve. Steve is now a major in the Marine Corps.
My grandfather and the legacy of men like Sergeant Davis are the reason I do what I do, and I'm going to continue to do it.
Today, part of that conversation and part of our special report. This is Tombstones, Tennessee. How old were you when you first heard parts of the story?
I probably first started hearing about it when I was 6 years old. It was always as like the battle where he was behind the Tombstones in which he was wounded.
To put a finer point on just how intense the fighting was, according to John Hollis's book on RODNEY Davis, 2nd Platoon was 48 Marines strong on the morning of September 4th. When they returned to their combat outpost on the 8th, only 11 of those Marines were healthy enough to stay in the fight. 8 of those 11 still had injuries significant enough to be awarded the Purple Heart.
He was wounded in the hand. He was also that day shot in his notebook. The machine gun burst came so close to him that it ripped his clothes off, and he was essentially naked on the battlefield.
This is the map Lieutenant Brackeen used during Operation Swift. There are still blood stains from September 6th, 1967 on this map. Here and here.
That firefight that day was something that traumatized your grandfathers. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think it did. I think September 6th was whenever we would have a conversation about Vietnam or about war, that was the one that he would specifically refer to. And if I'm placing myself in his shoes, I think you come back with a bit of survivor's guilt. 5 men in a trench, one heroically sacrifices himself on a grenade. Why do I get to survive? Why do I get to continue to grow my family? Well, the growth of a family and the memories created stop for another family. And I think that lived on with him. And it's something that I think about to this day, right? Like, what could have been the possible outcomes for the Davis family if someone else had done that?
You can find a link to the full special broadcast in the show notes and description of this episode of Tombstones, Tennessee. This podcast is a production of News Channel 9, Fox Chattanooga, and Sinclair Broadcast Group Chattanooga. I hope you join me again real soon.